Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Champions Online. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. One of the series I have is where I answer questions that viewers of my video ask of me. First, I love it when you guys answer questions. First, I know it means someone's watching, which is awesome. And also, I just really like it when people show interest. So the question was, what kind of powers does Captain Atomic have right now? So, I'm here in the Powerhouse, and I'm gonna go over a few things and just show you a little bit about what he does. So, let's look at his powers first. So most of his powers come from the Force framework here. I kind of like it that there was a lot of knockback, and I also like a lot of the animations. So his energy builder is Force Bolts. His close area attack is Force Eruption, which is really, really good. His ranged attack is Forced Blast. He has a close ranged area attack. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Yeah, Force Eruption is his area of attack in close combat when people rush him and get too close. Crushing Wave is his ranged area of attack. So when he deals with multiple attackers, this is what you see. He also has a personal force field. You know, one of the things that I wish I could get more of is getting more people to team up and forming teams to go do things. Unfortunately, there just doesn't seem to be enough of a community in Champions Online to get that done. So he has some defenses here to help keep him in the fight. He's a freeform character, so I was able to give him concentration. I'm going to just leave this up on the screen for a few seconds. Basically, I remember, yeah, it increases his range damage and it increases his melee damage. And you get more and more levels of it. And you see the trigger conditions. Whenever you fully maintain a ranged power or use a ranged power from more than 25 feet away. So he can gain a lot of extra damage. This is a force multiplier for him. And then Force Shield. That's another defensive power. I just kind of like the way that looks. Then this is also not from the Force power set. This is Overdrive. You can see that's from Power Armor. This is from the Gadgeteer. This is a endurance buff. So again, I'll just leave this up here so you can read it along with me. This buff comes set. So yeah, I'm just kind of reading this to myself as well because actually I didn't remember. This was one of the last things that I took, that I slotted for him. Yeah, so that second one. Each time you maintain one of your maintain or toggle abilities for at least half its maximum maintain time, you are gained an energy over time buff. So one of the major things that I use is Crushing Wave, which is a maintain attack. So that works really well. And then Power Flight. This is one I spent Zen to unlock, just because he's, this living force battery type thing. That's kind of what I like. And let me see, what else do we have here? So his Force Shield. His innate characteristics, I took the Tempest. So I'm just going to keep that up there for a moment. So I wanted to give him some extra endurance. The Dexterity increases his critical hit chance. Ego, obviously, his range damage, and his recovery. For me, recovery is always one of the most important things to take, because it doesn't really matter how much endurance you have. This blue bar has to be as far over to the right as you can get it, and just to have that equilibrium point maxed out is really important to me. So that's what I like, getting the 10 plus the endurance and the recovery in that. Then my primary stat is ego, some secondary stats. I took intelligence for a couple of reasons. First, for role playing. This guy's a scientist. He got his powers because of his scientific investigations, but also because it reduces the endurance cost. So that way I'm increasing his recovery time and the amount of energy I use for each attack. And then of course I'm buffing his recovery. These are the talents. I think we get 8 talents I think we can choose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 3 more talents to choose. Brilliant increases intelligence. Want to increase that just so he can hang in a fight a little bit longer. Some more endurance. Again, I want to be a little bit tougher. Increases recovery as well. And again, more recovery. Then you see, overdrive. Alrighty, and let's see here. What else do I want to show you? Specialization tree so far. So his mental endurance increases the amount of maximum energy recovery grants. Force of will. Secondary super stats now grant defense again. Just want him to hang in the fight a little bit longer. So the more his ego, the less. And this is basically another discount to endurance cost for powers. And this increases the amount of offense. And so now I chose Vindicator for this next specialization tree. And this one I kind of like. It increases the defense by 20% of your offense. So that way, the higher I make my offense, the better his defense is going to be. And you can see, his defense is now better than his offense because of one level in this. So also, since I'm here, I'm gonna let you, just because I want to give you the full thing. One of the reasons I call my channel MMO Nerds is I'm just a nerd for the role-playing aspect of this. So this is the origin of Captain Atomic. I like to try and give them a background and make this a real character, and there's some sort of defining moment where where the character has to decide, I'm going to put on tights and I'm going to go battle evil and probably wind up dying a horrible death instead of just becoming a show-off. So you can read here, he was just a really vain, narcissistic scientist. He took too many risks. It wound up killing a whole staff of scientists. He recovered from his injuries, and he was just so guilt-ridden that the powers that he gained from this explosion, he just thought it was a higher power calling him to do something, and so that's why he's now chosen to be a superhero. So I'm just gonna show you some of the power progressions that I like to use. So the force builder here is as such. Right. Now this is crushing wave. And you can see he's taken out a whole battalion of guys here. And he still has, look how fast his recovery comes back. Right? And then force blast. Oop. Force blast. Blam. Nice one. And last is force eruption. So if anyone is stupid enough to get close to him, they're not close for long. So that is Captain Atomic. One last thing that I like to think about when I look at this. Where do I want to go with this character? What do I want to give him as well? And that's always something that I really wind up just really thinking about with this guy. So let's see here. Let's just go back to his force. And again, if anyone has any suggestions, I would love to hear it. Let me see. You see, I don't really give buff targets that much because we hardly ever team up here in Champions. So buffing targets, that's not really something that I do. Buff myself. That's my active defense. Yeah. So I might do this. Repairs damage to your personal force field. I might get this. I could get this. Containment field. Let me see. This one, yeah, I can't get this to level 35. Much of force to form and brings it crashing down on your foes with nuclear levels. So I kind of like that. And there was another one, another, where are you now? Force blast. You can cause it look like fortune forms used launching them. Maybe that. Where are we here? Or maybe the energy cascade. It's kind of like crushing wave, except you have to build for it, and it does a lot more damage. I've seen it in action in other videos, and it's a pretty good one to have. My energy, the progression will probably then be force cascade, then crushing wave, then I might get force snap as well to pick off anyone who's left, or just leave, and anyone who gets too close, force eruption. Anyway, that is a look at Captain Atomic. So I hope that answers any and all questions. And if you have any more or suggestions or ideas, I would love to hear it. So until next time, I will see you in Millennium City. Bye now.